To fight off the most dangerous and wicked yokai, Japan relied on brave warriors and men wielding mystical powers. Here are 5 of the most extraordinary yokai hunters. Sakanoue no Tamuramaro. Under the reign of Emperor Kanmu at the dawn of the Heian period, there lived a noble warrior of great renown, Sakanoue no Tamuramaro, a general of the imperial court, the second man in history to bear the title of Seitai Shōgun, and the first to face one of Japan's greatest monsters, the Oni Ōtakemaru. From his fortress in the Suzuka Mountains, Ōtakemaru terrorized travelers, ambushed envoys, and defied the emperor himself. He was said to wield dark sorcery and strength unmatched among yokai. To this day, Ōtakemaru is often counted among Japan's 3 great evil yokai. To end his reign of terror, the emperor sent Tamuramaro with an army of 30,000 men, but the Oni summoned storms and shrouded the mountains in black clouds. For 7 years, Tamuramaro searched the mists in vain. Ōtakemaru's only weakness was Suzuka Gozen, a goddess of the mountains, whom Ōtakemaru sought to seduce in countless disguises, but who resisted him each time. At last, Tamuramaro prayed for divine guidance. Suzuka Gozen answered, revealing that the Oni could not be defeated as long as he possessed his 3 sacred swords, but together they forged a plan. When Ōtakemaru next appeared before her, Suzuka accepted his presence, feigning fear because of Tamuramaro's presence on those mountains. She begged Ōtakemaru to give her his swords for safety. The demon gave her 2, only keeping 1 for himself. But when he returned the next night, Tamuramaro was waiting. Ōtakemaru, in his fury, revealed his true gigantic form, and a terrible battle shook the mountains. But with the blessing of the gods and Kanon's mercy, Tamuramaro struck off the Oni's head, ending his terror and bringing peace to Suzuka's lands. Sakanoue no Tamuramaro thus became the first great yokai hunter, though the title should be shared with Suzuka Gozen, whom he married in some versions of the tale. Fujiwara no Hidesato. During the 10th century, when Kyoto's court still whispered of gods and monsters, there lived an aristocrat and noble warrior known for his courage and composure, Fujiwara no Hidesato. One day, a great serpent blocked the Seta bridge. None dared to approach the beast, none but Fujiwara no Hidesato, who trampled the serpent and crossed the bridge. The serpent fled back into the waters of Lake Biwa, but later returned to our hero in the form of a beautiful woman and introduced herself as a dragon princess of Biwa. Her realm and family, she said, was under attack by the monstrous Ōmukade centipede of Mount Mikami, a creature so big it coiled around the mountain several times. Recognizing from his action at the bridge that Hidesato was a courageous man, she begged him to save her people. Fujiwara no Hidesato accepted the plea and, armed with his bow and arrows, went on to confront the Ōmukade. The beast's skin was hard and Hidesato's arrows failed to hurt it. Only 1 arrow remained. Hidesato coated it with his saliva and prayed to Hachiman, patron of warriors. The arrow flew and struck true, killing the centipede. The dragon princess invited Hidesato to her palace under the water, where she and the king gave him sumptuous gifts, including a cooking pot that needed no fire, a copper bell, which Hidesato later donated to Midera, and a bag of rice that never emptied. Abe no Seimei. 10th century Kyoto was a city of mystery and dark forces. To protect the capital and the court, the emperor could count on his powerful onmyōji, officials in charge of divination, exorcism, and warding off evil. And none attained the fame and power of the legendary Abe no Seimei. The source of his power came from his ancestry, for Abe no Seimei was half yokai himself, his mother being the white kitsune Kuzunoha. From childhood, Abe no Seimei was able to control weak Oni and Shikigami, and later on quickly rose to advise the course on matters related to mysticism, successfully divining the genders of babies, the abdication of an emperor, and finding lost objects. While Abe no Seimei fought evil in many forms, yokai and ghosts included, it is his rivalry with other powerful men that have passed down the legend, especially his many duels with rival onmyō, Ashiya Doma. Their rivalry reached its climax during a competition in front of many officials, where they summoned animals and spirits from sand and air. The final test of their skill was to guess the contents of a wooden box. Doman had bribed the person in charge of filling the box, and knew it would contain 15 oranges. Seimei, however, divined that it contained 15 rats. Confident in his success, Doman then had the box opened, not knowing that Seimei had used his power to change the oranges into rats. Doman's defeat was total, and Abe no Seimei's supremacy remained complete for many years. His power and fame were such that the Abe clan controlled the ministry of onmyōji until its dissolution in 1869. Minamoto no Raiko and the Four Heavenly Kings. The first professional yokai hunter force was formed during the second half of the 10th century under the command of the charismatic samurai Minamoto no Raiko, who gathered 4 heroes to accompany him wherever yokai were spotted. Among the several tales around those 5 warriors, the most famous one concerns the hunt and slaying of Shuten Dōji, the strongest of all oni, who terrorized the region around the capital. Shuten Dōji's location was divined by the onmyōji of the court, Abe no Seimei, but it took all the courage and strength of the 5 hunters to kill the oni and his servants. They also hunted down terrible Tsuchigumo, vicious and powerful spider yokai, on several occasions. While Minamoto no Raiko, also called Minamoto no Yorimitsu, is forever associated with the hunt of Shuten Dōji, each of his warriors earned fame in their own right. Perhaps the most famous of them is Kintaro, the Golden Boy, a chubby child wearing an apron with the character Kin and armed with an axe, said to possess unrivaled strength and a fairly wild attitude. Kintaro as a child became a most popular character in Japanese folklore. But he changed his name to Sakata no Kintaki upon reaching adulthood and joining Raiko's band. Among the other 3 stands Urabe no Suetake and Usui Sadamitsu. The 2 of them are famed for their courage and devotion to Raiko, whom they often protect during the most dangerous times. And finally, there is Watanabe no Tsuna, the first man to bear the name Watanabe in Japan. While Raiko and his band killed Shuten Dōji and most of his servants, one oni escaped, Ibaraki Dōji, Shuten's most powerful ally. Ibaraki Dōji followed the group back to the capital and haunted the Rashomon Gate, vowing revenge for her master. Hearing rumors about it, Watanabe no Tsuna went to confront the demon and single-handedly vanquished her. For this, and his many battles against yokai, the name Watanabe is feared by those creatures to this day, and people bearing the name Watanabe do not have to participate in the Setsubun festival, for they have nothing to fear from demons. Minamoto no Yorimasa and Ino Hayata. In 1153, Emperor Konoe suffered the curse from a Nue, a Japanese chimeric creature, and fell ill to the point of nearing death. The Nue summoned a black cloud over the imperial palace every night, and nothing seemed capable of warding it off or healing the emperor. The court called upon Minamoto no Yorimasa, descendant of demon hunter Minamoto no Raiko, and his servant Ino Hayata, to slay whatever creature so cursed the emperor. Using his legendary bow and an arrow inherited from his esteemed ancestor, Yorimasa prepared himself to fight the beast, and when the cloud formed during the night, the warrior took his shot. The Nue fell from the sky with a terrible shriek, wounded but not dead. Ino Hayata then unsheathed his knife, rushed to the creature and finished it off, thus bringing peace back to Kyoto. Yorimasa later on fought in the Geipei War against the Taira clan, and suffered a crushing defeat at Uji in 1180, prompting him to perform the first recorded seppuku in history. Whether they used blades, arrows, or mystical powers, those yokai hunters all depended on the same source of strength, honor, to defeat the evil forces terrorizing Japan. Now tell me, if you were under a yokai attack, which of those champions would you count upon to save you? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories of Japanese monsters and heroes. And if you too love anything with yokai, kami and samurai, check out my book, Blood of the Kami.